Call the meeting to order, 4 o'clock. Yeah, the regular meeting minutes, December 3rd, 2019. We were all there. Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Tax collector's report, I think it jumped up a little bit from the last meeting. Looking good. Everything's going well. And any questions? Refunds, abatements, $66.12.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Internet Committee. This is something that's going to, we had a talk here at the town hall a month or so ago about fiber optic system in northwest Connecticut. One of the people from Northwest Connect, they're advocating getting fiber optic strung throughout northwest Connecticut. They've been to the COG quite a bit. They're funded by a grant through the COG. And it's an interesting option for people in this area for better internet, possibly better cell service, and phone service. And the towns of Norfolk and North Canning are both moving ahead with this. They're kind of the towns to watch to see what to do and how to do it and what works and what doesn't work. And the COG would like to see us, each town in the Northwest COG, form a committee to kind of maybe get the ball rolling in each town or be ready to move forward when we need to. Just an advisory committee to the Board of Selectmen. I figured maybe 5 people.
Yeah.
You know, a couple interested parties, I can't say for sure, but one was Mike McGill, who lives right down the street here, and another was Dennis Williamson. I think he worked for one of the computer companies
Yeah,
back
He does
then.
a lot of work in
Savvy,
the library,
yeah.
doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's not totally up to speed on this fiber optic option that is out there, but was interested. And if you have any people you think might be interested, let's, maybe next meeting we bring it forward and establish a committee.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot about it in the paper and stuff, and still not sold on a complete package, but it's a step forward.
There's a lot of questions out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finance is a big question.
Yep.
And then the other thing is people in town have to sign on to it.
Yep.
Because I think the more people you have sign on to it, the cheaper it gets.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
So, I mean, that's a selling point that you have to get across to the townspeople.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good idea to get a committee together and let them do some legwork on it.
Yeah.
Good
There's some
idea.
interesting articles, I'll forward it to both of you. I don't know if you saw, I think it's a small town out in the Midwest, and they, I mean, really rural, and they ran fiber optic throughout their town, and they're light years ahead of the rest of the people in their state.
Oh.
So, it's coming. It's just a
coming,
matter of
yeah.
when we get on board.
Yep.
So, all right, for the next meeting, we'll hopefully have some ideas on some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask around and see if anybody's interested.
Good.
Okay, good.
Jams update. I did meet with the first select person, Denise Rapp of Litchfield, and her Public Works Director, Roz Alexi, and Matt Blasalvich. And they have the plans all set. They just need to get a couple more permits. I think one's through Army Corps, and the other one I believe is through DEP. And then they can go out to bid. They're estimating right now that's going to cost each town $100,000 out of their pocket. I'm hoping there's alternative ways to come up with the money than about our capital non-recurring. I think there's a couple possibilities. I'm not sure what the governor did for a steep grant bonding this time around. I haven't heard yet, so there's a possibility there. He had $15 million on the agenda for steep grants. So we'll see. And they're keeping us in the loop now as far as how they're moving forward. They met with a company out of someplace up in northwest Connecticut that does a lot of these types of dams. So they'll have a better idea of perhaps what the cost might be for us. And
How's Litchfield handling the $100,000 extra?
they'll throw in their capital non-recurring.
Because I read the article in the paper, just like everybody else did.
Yeah.
Did we put any money away toward that extra for the jams?
No, we didn't know what it was.
Okay, so that 100,000, suppose we don't get any bond money or grant money,
Mhm.
the town's gonna have to come up with 100,000.
Yeah, and what we could probably do if everything falls through, and I'm pretty sure there's a source of money there,
Mhm.
but we could do 50,000 in the next fiscal year,
Yeah.
not capital non-recurring, and then 50 in the following, if we need it. But I'd rather have a firm price
Right.
of what exactly the cost is gonna be before we start allocating money towards it. It doesn't make sense to keep
Right.
going back and get more and more. Let's find out what it is.
Well, my only concern is, and I'm sure you run, you get your bids and say it's 100,000, just, now that has to go to a town meeting. What if the townspeople say, we're not interested in putting 100,000 into this?
That's a
Or
possibility.
Or Litchfield's people, that's a possibility that all this work that's been put into this could go by the wayside.
Yeah, and the grants, there's 2 steep grants that are currently allocated for this project, and they would expire at the end of 2021.
Okay, so you have,
So we have about a little over $300,000 left in the
Yeah.
current funding. But if we don't use it, it
it
disappears.
disappears, yeah, and the way their grant money is right now,
They're pulling it all
they're
back.
pulling it back, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, those grants have been
Yeah,
out there
somebody
for
called me on
14
that.
years.
on that, and asked me about it, I said, well, you know, I wasn't sure if they put any money away or not, but it's something that the town's gonna have to vote on.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ordinances, and it really came down to one ordinance I'm looking to do a change on. It's to sell personal property of the town, which is not real property. Real property is land and structures permanently attached to the land, like houses and things. When we're going for personal property, we're looking at perhaps an old vehicle or a generator, or I think in this case, there is a generator that's available, but right now we'd have to advertise it in a newspaper. And these days, given that we have websites and other means to advertise, and the cost of advertising in the newspaper is prohibitive, especially on a small item.
Yeah.
You know, like when we advertise the sink for sale, and, you know, it just doesn't make sense.
Especially when there are so many free internet options.
What I'd like to do is, in the 31.04 authorization to sell property, B, where it says in a newspaper having a general circulation in the town, put that all onto the town website. And other options if available. If it's a larger item like the ambulance, put it on a regional or nationwide website or internet page, web page. But I did talk with Mike Ryback, our town attorney, about this. He will draft up some language to modify this and bring it to the ordinance committee,
Okay.
and hopefully have it ready, I'd like for the next meeting. I'm not sure if that's gonna be, you know, doable, but, because we have a town meeting coming up. But we'll get that moving, and just save the town some money. I know Winchester just went through this, and it's gonna save them a ton of money. So that was the ordinance.
Now, to the ordinance committee, just, I don't think right now, the people that on the ordinance committee have been appointed by the selectmen.
There was some question about that, because we got a list from the town clerk saying they were, but I don't recall that it was done. So we're gonna double check with the town clerk to see when they were appointed according to their paperwork.
I think that's what Joanne and Maureen, they were gonna contact you, but Joanne's been sick and, you know, with the holidays and stuff, they're
Yeah.
gonna wait till after the first of the year.
Okay.
But, I mean, I think we should check into it just to make sure. And I think, the town clerk is part of that,
Yeah, she's a member of it.
Yeah,
We'll check with Lori when she comes back to work on Monday
okay.
and see what she knows. 'Cause-
Yeah, just to see if we have an ordinance committee or if we have to appoint them.
Right,
Okay?
okay. Anything else on ordinance?
No?
Makes sense. Annual financial report, you each have a copy now. You can keep, obviously. We'll get this on the website too. The auditor came to a Board of Finance meeting and discussed this with them. And basically came down to a very healthy picture of the town's finances. We did end the year with a surplus, kind of unexpected due to increased revenue through tax collection. Very low debt. I think there's about $66,000 in debt, and that's through from the sewer project for the town of Litchfield. And a healthy fund balance, and so everything looked very good. No recommendations. All the recommendations from the previous audits have been cleared up through the last
No recommendations, kind of amazing.
few years. It's really a testament to what Nancy has done in the fiscal office over those years to get us back into this shape. And also all the departments in town doing a good job. So I have this. And I think at the next meeting we'll set a call for a town meeting to accept the audit and an annual report. And a couple other items, so we'll be ready for hopefully mid to later January for town meeting.
Okay.
We'll try to get as much on that town meeting call as possible, clear things up. So if you, I don't know if we can get this from the auditor electronically and just,
I can scan that.
or scan it?
Mhm.
Okay. First Selectmen's report. I already went over, well, we did meet with Planning and Zoning and SHR Energy to discuss the solar array transfer station, and the Planning and Zoning Commission approved an 824 referral, which really basically says that this project would be in keeping with their plan of conservation and development for the town. And next step would be a public hearing. I think we did this once before for the property next door, and then a vote by the Board of Selectmen. And after that goes the Board of Selectmen, we go to the Board of Finance, and then to a town meeting. And once that's approved and they want to move the project forward, SHR would have to come back to Planning and Zoning with a full application, site plan, everything, to get their approval before they can move forward. And also wetlands would have to get approved too. So it's looking like it's going to move forward. Things are looking good. Smoky Hollow Bridge project, of course, a bridge project and a slight delay with the delivery of the steel beams. We're now, because of the holidays, they can only transport them on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And because of the holidays in the next 2 weeks, that kind of cuts out any transport from Pennsylvania. So it'll probably be after the holidays, they'll get those beams up here and set them in place. And that would really probably wrap up most of the work for the winter, depending on how cold it is. But it is going well. We had the Northwest Hill Council of Governments meeting and talked about paramedic service, enhanced service being offered by Hartford, is it Hartford Healthcare Hospital? And because they now own Charlotte Hungerford, and this would allow better coverage for paramedics in this area. And then Winston, there'd be hubs in Winston and Torrington. They'd serve Morris, Litchfield, Goshen, and a few other towns. And I was appointed to be a representative to the Region 5 Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security Steering Committee. Also met with the other first selectmen from Goshen and Warren and Chris Leone to discuss future contributions to the Region 6 budget, and also the health insurance collaboration effort. We should have a quote, an idea fairly soon on that, of if there's any savings for the town if we go in with Region 6 in Litchfield. And I already mentioned about the JAMS project. And we had a emergency management homeland security exercise up at the Litchfield County Regional Fire School, where we worked on exercises to see how we'd respond and recover from cyber attacks and some physical threats to our power grid and energy. And once again, Laurel has done a wonderful job with the holiday baskets to all the individuals and families. I think, I don't know what the count ended up being, like 24 families?
Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, all the businesses and the people in town that contributed, just amazing. Did a great job, and thank you, Laurel, for everything you did. And we do have the community dinner Sunday at 1 o'clock, and expecting about 30 people today, so.
Nice.
Anything?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. No?
Well, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and probably see most of you after the holidays. Well, I see.
I'll see you.
You on Sunday?
I'll be here.
Oh, that's right, Monday, we have Monday and Tuesday. Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, everybody have a good holiday.
You too.
And,